afternoon and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know what you're saying, and you may be wondering, Zach, why are you smiling? Did you watch the game? I did. It wasn't good. But you know what? It's funny because recently, very recently, I've gotten negativity. And you know what? Working with negativity and making it into something positive is really fun. Now, let's not do that. First off, thank you for helping us hit 350 subscribers. That is amazing. We are very appreciative of that. And you know what? Not only is that a sign that this channel's doing well, but I think, I could be wrong, but I think we've officially somehow gotten past this unofficial rite of passage. Because you see, my friends, if I may call you that, or not, colleagues, acquaintances, that's cool too. For the first time, I had somebody type, this is amazing, by the way. Now, I'm not going to go make their whole name because that's not right. I'm going to just call them Mike because it's a very short version of their name. Mike said, the only sport that giblets, that's Jets. I have no idea how he got that from that. That's a bigger reach than calling Jack Campbell Superman with soup in it. That's a reach. Can compete in is springboard diving, which I've actually heard can be really hard. You could hit your head on that. That's not the point. Go make a video about this game so that I can dislike it. That might be the single greatest hate comment I've ever read in my entire life, because to hate us, he has to go to our channel and view something. That is amazing. And you know what, Mike? Mike, you've inspired me. You've inspired me with your whatever the hell comment this is. But you've inspired me to create something, an award of sorts. So this is now going to be, obviously metaphorically, because the Jets do not show up at my house to do goddamn post games. This will be given to the worst Jet of the game, or as I would like to call, the Mike Award. Because just like your comment, Mike, it was completely useless on the ice, has nothing to do with hockey, and is completely upside down. So, without further ado, let's get back to this later, and this will become a mainstay. And you know what? It's suddenly given me this newfound optimism about reporting on a game that I'm going to hate by the end of this 25-minute video, probably. So let's get into it. Jets lose 4-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's get over the one good thing. All righty, Oilers, get it started off. Nice entry. Yeah! Oilers! Yes! That's exactly the start we wanted! Woo! Fuck yes! That was such a beautiful zone entry. Look how beautiful it looks when you get all your passes on the stick, on the tape to tape. Did you enjoy that? Good! Because that's it. That's pretty much the end of the game for the Jets after that. Oilers on, honestly, the best play of the game happened under a minute in, and it went downhill from there. And just like most downhill games, we'll name it eventually, don't worry. We're going to have to name it because it's falling apart, which I feel like should be more of an indictment on how terrible we've played in some games. One other thing I should mention. Hyman is out, obviously still. Bogosian is out as well. Ben is out not injured, but replaced with Stanley, which makes me think, why? Why the heck? You could take out Tucker Pullman. You're really good. He's not getting the Mike Award, but he's not good. Lowry is out on concussion protocol and will be reassessed after this game. That was a bit annoying. Harkins is in then because of that. And then they've re-scrambled the lines. Hellebuck is in net and Jack Campbell's in net. And the Connor Scheifele Wheels line is back together. And it has already reminded me that this is not 2017-18 season because of how badly it played. But yes, Oilers would obviously score to make 1-0 early in the game. And then this game goes really downhill really quickly. Yep. Just scrunch it up, my boy. Yep. And I'm going to explain my reactions because you're going to notice something with these reactions. I'm not loud in these reactions, which is an oddity for me.
Bit of a change of pace.
And you know why? Because I was fucking furious. I get upset and annoyed. I get outright annoyed when I'm being loud. But it's when I'm fucking quiet like this that I'm just stewing there, absolutely infuriated. And I'll explain part of it. You'll notice that I'm texting on some of these goals. And it's not that I'm not paying attention to the game. I am. But I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot in this regard. I decided that I would check up on a Jets group chat and a Leafs group chat. 2 separate group chats. Now, again, I don't hate Leafs fans. However, being in a chat with a bunch of people that are doing drastically better and feeling drastically better than you are feeling is an exercise of patience. It's like going to a birthday party for everyone's birthday but yours. And it turns out that this was the day a relatives of yours died. Everyone's having a good time except you. And you have to sit there as the calming voice and not lose your temper or your respectability and go, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. Oh, our player's hurt? Well, this is still okay. It's not fun. But anyway, speaking of not fun, Joe Thornton on a wraparound goal off the back wall bounce to make it 1-1 reaction here. You just let a retirement home patient score on a wraparound. Boy. Where does this go? Oh, Helly, no! Hellebuck doesn't realize that the puck is going to come right around off the bounce, so he kind of cuts back to the one side. What to say about this? Honestly, it's kind of an unlucky bounce, and also because of Joe Thornton's reach on the play. Also, good thing about this, Adam Brooks got an assist, and you know what? As much as I hate the Leafs, which is fair because they are in our division and they're not named the Jets, so that's a fair statement. I can say that. But as much as I hate them, I like Adam Brooks. Why? Because he's from Winnipeg. And like we've met him, we worked in the same place, worked out at the same place he trained at. Yeah. And we went to a bunch of the games when he played on the Marlies. Yep. Yeah, and he's just from Winnipeg, good Winnipeg boy. So it's nice to see him in the lineup. Unfortunately, it came at our expense once again. Thornton would score on a wraparound. Hellebuck just needs to set up properly just realize right away that Thornton's going for the wraparound attempt. Sometimes it's hard because those are not the most common plays nowadays, but still happens. Pierre-Luc Dubois chance. Second line chemistry was really strong, and I said this in the first period, and that would not carry over, unfortunately, to the second and third, where it was just bad. It was just bad all around. Spezza has a missed chance. Ehlers looks really good in the first period. He actually, I would say he's probably the best player of the game, but it was still frustrating, because even in the best spots, there were still horrible downtimes. And guess what? I don't even need to pick this up, because guess what? The Hella bunker is only effective if you use it. Just like a real bunker. It doesn't mean shit if when you get bombed, you're sitting 3 feet outside of the Hella bunker. Cue up the goal, which is I can't believe it, like the 3rd or 4th time this has fucking happened. And congratulations, Hellebuck. You are now on probation again. Reaction here. I can't believe how does this happen to the same goalie so many times? It's happened like twice against the Canadiens, at least once against the Leafs. I think it's happened against Calgary. There was a bad bounce play with Chris Tatum on one of them too. Fuck! Never leave your net! It makes me want to say, but I know that's not a good opinion because he needs to leave his net. But it's a combination of a bunch of bad things. One, Hellebuyck feels he has to leave his net to play this puck because it should be going around the back. It just happens to hit the stanchion that's connected to the gate in the corner. That's more commonly used to hold the backup goalie. How fucking ironic is that? And the thing is that Marner's the first guy in the puck because Marner scores this goal, obviously. And the thing is Marner also represents why the Jets are very frustratingly bad on the penalty kill compared to the Toronto penalty kill. Because as for their flaws, the Toronto penalty kill actually can put pressure on the power play unit because the guys who play their penalty killing minutes are also their best players in general. I've seen Matthews on the penalty kill. I don't know if he does it regularly, but I know for a fact Marner does. And Marner's faster than Trevor fucking Lewis, fun fact. So he can get there. And just like those type of shorthanded plays, Marner was the first guy in the puck who's beating out both of our defensemen and all of our forwards. Therefore, Hellebuyck feels like he has to go and play that puck. It's a combination of errors, but also, Hellebuyck, read the fucking room! Like, my God! And this isn't this garbage of, well, you know, it's just a bad bounce. This has happened more than 2 times. The fuck? In a 56-game season. Game 47. This is like the second time in a week. Stop it! Just stop it! This was the game-winning goal! Moving on. So there was a holding penalty. Not gonna lie, didn't really know where. Good fourth line shift. Wheels gets reverse hit. Okay, so here's the thing. When it first happened, I was pissed. I was irate. And I'm still a little upset about this, but not for the reasons that people might think. And I'll explain them. Let's get the one thing out of the way. Is Sandin's hit dirty? No, it's not. It's a proactive decision to try to hit a player that he thinks is coming after him. From pretty much a rookie player, I think, still. He might be in his sophomore year or a rookie, one of the two. It's not dirty. Did it have consequences, and did it land a little risky? Yeah, it's tough to say, but here's why I'm a little annoyed. Because, first off, let's get into the big problem here. Reverse hits, the NHL doesn't really have an understanding on. And if anyone's watched these videos before, you'll know that I have been very tentative to call out reverse hits. When it happened with Pionk and Marner, didn't say anything. I said, whatever. Pionk was going to run him. Because for the record, he was. He was taking a running start at Marner. So that's fine. When Tkachuk did it to Wheeler, actually, that concussed him before, this is his second game back, I was a little hesitant to say it. I was saying it's more of an elbow. The third time now, this has happened. I'm getting a little annoyed. And you know what? I don't blame Sandin. Sandin's hit is more of a product of the fact that there's so much gray area on what constitutes a reverse hit and what are the rules regarding reverse hits. And I'll explain a little bit of my frustration here. A reverse hit is not you being protecting yourself from a hit. That's not. Because there are other measures to protect yourself from a hit. One is skate away in some aspect. Another is how you're taught at a very young age, just put yourself on the boards. You're still going to get hit. It's a contact sport, for fuck's sakes. But you're going to cushion some of the blow. Also, not every motherfucker is out there headhunting you. Or at least aiming at you to cheap shot you from behind. And you can't tell me Wheeler was doing it this time because Wheeler is reaching forward. What is the logic for somebody reaching like this? He's going to go and just put his both arms together and push you into the boards. It's not there. Now, I understand the logic is, well, not every player is the same. That could be the problem. But that's more of a testament to the fact that the league has not been good at policing hits from behind. Because they still happen somewhat semi-frequently, which is a problem, but also can be a freak accident. But reverse hits also, the nature of them is kind of yikes. Because here's the thing. If he goes up like this, he could leave his feet, which kind of looks like he does a little bit. And I understand if you don't want to agree with me on this, but it does. It's really tough to say. But it looks like he leaves his feet just a little bit, which technically constitutes a charging. But again, I understand referees not noticing that. Because he's going like this, he's going from a somewhat crouched position to a straightforward position, his body is naturally going up, which means the contact, especially if Wheeler is leaning forward, is naturally going up and hitting him, which it did. And I'm not blaming him again. That's just the nature of these types of hits. But when our player gets kind of shaken up from it, and if someone wants to go in and say, well, that's just playoff hockey. No, it's not. I'll give you an example. There was a hit later, and there was a bunch of hits in this game that is playoff hockey, because it's a good hit. That one is really risky. And then, to top it all off, Kyle Connor would get pissed off because, and I understand why Kyle Connor is angry, he's just seen his captain hit the exact same way that concussed him literally like a week ago. So he goes after Sandin, and Kyle Connor's the only one that gets a penalty. Now, here's the thing. I would argue that you could give a 2-minute interference penalty to Sandin, and if anyone's saying, well, to clean it, it's not that, I'm not calling it a dirty hit. I'm just saying it doesn't look like it's borderline. And when it results in a player feeling like he has to stick up for his guy who's on the ground down, you might just be better to just even it up. And for any Leafs fans that are upset with this, I would argue that us taking off Connor and you taking off Sandin, fair trade-off, because that's probably one of our better forwards, even though he drives me nuts sometimes. Now, I really want to move this along. I'm sorry it took so long, but I really felt like I needed to say that. We would be short-handed going into the second period. Nothing would really happen on that. So Muzzin would take a penalty for interference, and DeMello would take one for embellishment, and that would make it 4-4. Sure, whatever. Does DeMello embellish? Yeah. Does he embellish because there's those types of plays that are always like those kind of hard to judge interferences where we've all seen it. Every team does it. I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm fine with it being 4-4. That's all I'm gonna say. And then John Tavares on a 2-1 on this 4-4 that would make it 3-1 reaction here. Yeah, here's the thing. Stop playing the first line on 4-4. They're not your best players. They're not anymore. This is getting painfully repetitive that you shouldn't have Connor and Scheifele Wheeler on there. Yeah. And then Perreault gets a breakaway. It looks like he gets slashed on the breakaway, I'm going to be honest. And like, at least once across there. Just, like, really. Like, how many times have we seen a guy get a breakaway and the defenders being that close and it has to get called the penalty, right? Well, they miss it. We go back the other way, and then Perreault charges John Tavares, which is not okay. Did it cut out?
We didn't cut out, but we're damn low on battery, so.
Well, make sure it's plugged in properly.
I can't check right now because we're in the middle of recording.
Okay.
We are at 10%.
Oh,
somehow.
God. Okay, well, you might want to move it around then.
Well, keep going.
Well, yeah, sorry. We did not think we'd be running with such low battery today. Anyway, as I was saying, though, Perreault charges John Tavares. He leaves his feet, hits him high. It's bad. It's bad. I don't like it. I don't like this hit at all. And it deserves a penalty, and it did. Might get reviewed. It might. And it's a high hit. And then I was irate at this point because I was like, oh, great, now you know what leaving your feet gets a penalty. Okay, cool. And that's my opinion as I was watching the game. Afterwards, I'm just like, whatever, doesn't matter. PLD gets high sticked, which draws a power play. Cool. We don't do anything on it. And then PLD takes an interference penalty. Okay. Oh, right. This is the one that I don't like. Yes. PLD hit Matthews late. It's 100% late, and I don't like this hit at all. And for the record, if anyone's saying, well, if anyone's getting... Because when Leafs fans argue this hit, did it say 5%?
Just keep going. No, it just said 10 again. I don't know why. Just keep going.
Oh, maybe you're charging it. When it said, if Leafs fans get mad at this, and then you immediately say, well, you're only getting upset because Matthews got hit. No, it's a late hit. I was really upset with PLD over this because it's something, he chased a hit way too late, and it's not the right time. We are trying to get back in the game here, and you're hitting him there. And this is one of the reasons why I was really cross with PLD. He had a good first period. I hated it in the second and third period. Scheifele was benched for most of the second period. He deserved to be benched. He didn't play well. He didn't play well at all. That could be a spoiler for later. Oh, see this, Mike? Dislike this, Mike. Third period now. Scheifele's still benched, and Scheifele would have got back sooner if we hadn't taken a penalty. Oilers would get a delayed game penalty. It's a bouncing puck. He just whacks it away, and it goes right over the glass, whatever. Hellebuyck makes a big save on William Nylander. Hellebuyck had a good game after that for a little bit. It was just more... Scheifele's shift back was his best shift of the game by far. He looked like a whole new guy out there. He was really trying to forecheck and create plays. Didn't do much, but, he tried. Stasny gets a chance. And then the linesman goes absolutely brain dead. I was baffled by this, okay? And here's why. This icing gets called, for the record. So we ice the puck down. The goalie's here. Jack Campbell's here. Matthew Pro's here. The puck is here. Maybe Marner, whoever the fuck was back, is here. He blows it dead. Like an icing. And then immediately goes, oh, fuck, I fucked up. It's going to go in the center ice. For the record, you admitting you fucked up, in this case especially, does not make up for you fucking up. How do you think that the guy here gets to the puck before the guy here gets it? To the point where Campbell was playing the puck. You have a very simple job here, and even when you do fuck up on half of your job, you get a review to bail your ass out. So I would hope for the other half of your job, you do it well. Moving on. This was weird. This was a weird penalty. Oilers decided, apparently, I guess I'm living in Mike's head because he just can't wait to watch our video, to leave a dislike, that he was going to live in Orton's head, Orton. Out of nowhere. Cross-check out of nowhere. He was going to live in Thornton's head rent-free. He drew a penalty on Thornton because Thornton literally broke his stick cross-checking him. And if anyone says, well, he was such a pussy for not getting a fight. Okay! So the Danish kid has to get into a fight with fucking Jumbo Joe, the Neanderthal from hell? No thanks! No thank you! He doesn't need to get into that fight. He doesn't at all. And then he comes out, and then again he's living in Thornton's head. Thornton's pushing around, and Oilers takes a little chop at him, which I don't blame. You're having a caveman chase you around the rink. I would be annoyed too. And if anyone's like, why didn't he fight him? The fuck? I'll put this into perspective. Would you want Ilya Mikheyev to get into a fight with Adam Lowry? And if you say yes, obviously you do not know who Adam Lowry is. Because the correct answer to that is, no you wouldn't. Didn't fucking think so. It's not their game. Don't make it theirs. Now, there should be more toughness, perhaps. That's not the point, though. PLD and Simmons would get misconducts because whatever. PLD was just, at the end of the game. He just wasn't contributing at all. And then empty net, and then Kerfoot on the empty net would score to make it 4-1. Reaction here. Attaboy. And yeah, that's the game. That's the game right there. It was just frustrating because there was never any drive after the first period. And if anything, I hated this game especially for how ugly it got. It was just classless hits sometimes that really just muddy the reputation. Because if you're going to get into battles like this, like grimy battles, you better fucking win the game. Because let's make it clear, the Leafs are not a dirty team, but they played like a tougher team tonight. And it made you look embarrassing all the more for it. Because you were the ones taking penalties. Not the Leafs. Leafs only really got more rattled when For example, like when Ehlers was rattling Thornton or stuff like that. Other than that, it wasn't great. Yeah, so the Mike Award will go to, it's a tie between Pierre-Luc Dubois and Mark Scheifele, because I was so irate with the hit that Pierre-Luc Dubois made, and the fact that he got a misconduct, and after the first period, he contributed nothing. And for Mark Scheifele for getting benched, so there you go. You guys can share this, because just like all the worst comments, it's usually shared by at least more than one person. Anyway, let's throw that away. Top 3, honorable mention. I guess Jansen Harkins. He didn't look bad in the one shift, I remember. Top 3. So 3 is gonna be. God. I'll say Neil Pionk because he didn't look horrendous. Number 2 will be Connor Hellebuyck because I don't care the fact that he let in the goals he let in. Other than that one horrible motion, at the same time he was still standing on his head. And whenever I wasn't talking about, whenever I forgot to mention him here, just pretend I was, because he was making saves always at the same time. And then number 1 was obviously Nikolai Ehlers, because Nikolai Ehlers is the best player on our team. Fucking fight me. He's better than Mark Scheifele. Mark Scheifele has more points than him. Mark Scheifele gets a lot more power play time than him. And Mark Scheifele, I've not been impressed with him in the last few games, but it's now finally hitting me. Why? He's just not being dynamic enough. And this is one other thing. One other final fucking thing. Our power play is pathetic. Our first power play is pathetic. It's the same motion every time. I'll tell you it. I'll tell you just a little sneak peek behind the curtain here. Scheifele gets the puck. Scheifele passes it back to Morrissey. Morrissey passes it over Connor Shaw. It's about as effective as a fucking level 1 Bulbasaur. It's useless. Beyond shit, useless. Because at least shit can be used as fertilizer. That's about the game, honestly. Yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far, because I know it was a very ugly game to watch, and it's not always fun to watch those games, so I hope this was enjoyable. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and watched this video, because we really do appreciate it. It's great, honestly, and we understand, especially if you don't always agree with us. That's fine. I respect all the opinions on this. Sometimes I get a little upset about them. Okay, except Mike's was an exception, but Mike didn't offer any valid points. So Mike, in a way, it's an honor, because he's now going to be in all of these. He's going to outlive all of us. He's a goddamn award now. But, is what it is. But yeah. Thanks. Don't forget to leave a like in this video so it gets shared around. Subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Nolan Hockey Podcast, and comment down below your thoughts on the game and the video. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time, where I hope we beat the Oilers, because, ugh.